Meme coins are the only market in the world where a kid with $500 can literally outtrade a hedge fund. But most people treat it like a casino because you don't understand the system behind it. But I do. My name is James Wang, and you might have seen me with this purple Lamborghini, but my life was a simple sailor. I'm 18, I've lived in debt, got into crypto, dropped out of Cornell, and I've managed to build and scale the most aggressive on-chain system that filters out all the chaos and has managed to make me over 8 figures trading meme coins. Meme coins aren't a joke, they're not gambling. They're a vehicle, one of the most asymmetric opportunities to ever exist. The ones who get this will never work for anyone ever again. The ones who don't, they'll spend the next decade figuring out why they missed it. In this masterclass, I'm gonna walk you through the same systems that has helped me to turn $500 into $11 million in 3 years. This is the same framework that I've been using to hit multiple 6 and 7 figure plays. I'm gonna tell you the mindset that let me survive rugs.
Holy
You little b****.
Thanks for the 20 candy.
Build conviction in plays and overcome emotion. This won't be easy, but this is going to be the most important video that you watch this entire year. Let's begin.
So guys, you're not going to just trade powerfully by just clicking buttons with your thumbs on the iPhone. You need that clarity, you need that precision, and you need that dominance in that market. So what I simply recommend is having a PC or laptop, ideally with multiple monitors, because the more screens you have, you scan better. So right now, I'm going to give you a quick pop-up of what my screens look like, what my setup looks like, and why it's so essential to dominate the market. And for those of you who are still asking why does this matter, it's because in meme coins, every single millisecond is leverage. You need tabs for Axiom, Twitter, Discord, Telegram, every single tool at your fingertips. No delay needed. So now let's move on to software and platforms that you need. So I'm going to start off by telling you that Twitter and X is going to be your heartbeat monitor. You don't get alpha from all these newsletters or, going on television or anything like that. You get it from microsecond Twitter updates. Your For You page needs to be pure crypto, and you need to follow real traders, snipers, and KOLs. So my recommendation to you is going to my Twitter account and scrolling through my following list. You can scroll through, vet these people out, and see who posts things of substance. And that way you can curate your feed to get the most crypto-based content on your For You page possible. And if you'd like, you can go ahead and follow me. I'll leave a link in the description because I post a lot of crypto tips and tricks that can really help you through trading in meme coins. And after you've followed a decent amount of crypto-based Twitter accounts, your feed should look somewhat similar to this so that you can get the most amount of crypto information at the fastest rate possible.
And moving on, you're going to need a Discord account and a Telegram account because communities are one of the most important things in trading meme coins in 2 aspects. Firstly, it's going to be one of the main communication platforms for meme coins, and this is where some communities around meme coins form, and developers and insiders usually drop important information and announcements, and I really want you to get deep into these communities. And secondly, Discord communities are for you to grow and learn from other people trading so that you're not going to be alone in the market and you're going to be able to learn from your peers and also not miss out on information. The more eyes, the better. And then what you need is some Solana, and Solana is the biggest cryptocurrency used for meme coins at the moment. Now, how do I buy Solana? I want you to set up a Solana wallet. You need to create an additional wallet compatible with the Solana blockchain, and the best at the moment is going to be Phantom Wallet. So in order to go ahead and set up your Solana wallet on Sol, I want you to go ahead and go to phantom.app. Once you enter, you're going to go to download and select whatever matches your browser. For me, it's going to be Chrome. You're going to add to Chrome and then add the extension. Once you're on the screen, you're going to create a new wallet and then create a seed phrase wallet. And then you're going to set and create your password. And then you're going to be prompted to this recovery phrase page. And I want you to back up your seed phrase. Offline, no screenshots, no cloud storage. I want you to write it down. I want you to protect it like your literal soul. And if anything happens and you lose this wallet, this is the only way to recover your wallet. And if you don't want anyone besides yourself to access your funds, you don't want anyone else to know this phrase. Now that your Solana wallet is secured, it's time to load it with capital and prepare for execution. You can start by purchasing Solana through a reputable exchange like Coinbase, Binance, or Kraken, depending on your region. These platforms are fast, secure, and liquid, ensuring that you can move your capital with confidence. So for me, I'm going to be using Coinbase, and then you go over and head over to Solana, and you pretty much just go ahead and buy it. You can link your bank account, or if you're on mobile, you can usually use Apple Pay, and then you can press the amount of money you want to buy. So for me, I'm going to be buying $1,000 just to show you how to buy Solana. So now that you've properly bought some crypto with an exchange, you can go ahead in Phantom Wallet, copy your Solana wallet address like this, and then send crypto. I'm pasting my Phantom Wallet crypto address here, and as you can see, I can select my Solana. I'm going to press max and send now. So now that it's sent, it should appear in your Phantom Wallet like this. So now I have $997 in my Phantom account. Now before you begin trading, I want you to understand this. Trying to buy or sell meme coins directly through your wallet interface is like bringing a bicycle to a Formula 1 race. You know what I mean? You'll be too slow, and in this game, seconds really do matter. And that's why every single serious trader uses a high-speed trading bot. So I recommend bots like Axiom because they're designed for one thing, just speed. Without it, your trades are going to fail, you're going to lag, and you're going to get front run. With it, you're actually going to be able to get in on your trades and get filled when the opportunity presents itself. And now this isn't really about convenience here, it's about survival. And what you should know, the meme coin trenches are known to be extremely brutal. And now let's get into how to set up the Axiom trading bot, the fastest trading tool in this space. You're going to sign up via the link in the description or using our referral code FORTUNE when signing up. The reason why is because you get a significant reduction in your transaction fees, and I had to heavily negotiate this deal for our community, so use it to your advantage. And then when you set up your Axiom wallet, you can continue with email, sign up with Google, or Phantom. In this case, I'll sign up with the same Phantom wallet that I showed you how to create. And now you're prompted to another recovery key page. I want you to mark it again on a piece of paper, not online, and this is not optional. So now it's going to ask you to deposit some Solana right here, and that's going to be your trading balance. So I'm going to copy this address and then send my Solana from my Phantom account over to the Axiom account. Once it's sent, you can see that I have 4.794 SOL in my account with $1,002 in value. And now I want you to head over to Pulse, and this is where the real edge begins. It's Axiom's most powerful weapon, and it's not a scanner, it's a on-chain radar. It's going to help you discover all these new pairs, which are all the coins that are launching instantaneously at that second. Also, the final stretch and migrated section, which are for new coins. But I want you to understand this, without precision filtering, the Pulse is still chaos, it's still junk, and it's still a lot of noise. So a flood of distractions is going to drain your focus and also your capital. So I'm going to help you refine your signal, and then here's how. If you go over to new pairs and filters, I want you to select these protocols: Pump Fun, Bonk, Bags, Moonshot, Heaven, Believe, Jupiter, Moonet, and these are fine. And now I want you to lock in some metrics. So if you go to $metrics, I want you to go over to market cap and go to minimum $13,000. I mean, anything under this is pretty illiquid. It's not really high conviction. And I want you to wait until $13,000 market cap so you can filter out a lot of the trash that is being deployed. And now you're going to see a lot of icons under each coin. This is the dev supply. This is the sniper holding, insiders holding, and then the bundled supply. And I know bundled sounds extremely scary, but what is a bundle? The bundle is essentially when multiple wallets, I think it's 3 wallets, buying in the same block. So can this not be a bad thing? Maybe. A bundle could also mean that it is the dev holding a lot of supply waiting to dump on you. But let's say it's a good narrative, and a good narrative and a good coin that will catch buys. A lot of people are going to try and buy early, so 3 wallets buying in the same block is likely. Sometimes good coins have high bundle percentages, and that doesn't mean that they're bad. If it's a really high bundle percentage, like maybe 50%, maybe watch out, be careful. But something people fail to realize is you can't really boil meme coins down to just statistics like that. It's something you can keep in mind for sure, but I wouldn't rely on this. So now understand what each symbol means. Every symbol on Pulse is a data point. So in terms of developer wallets, it's the deployer. I want you to check their history. I want you to see if they recycle, do they re-rug. So let's check out this coin, Brewski, right here. If If you look, this deployer has launched 409 tokens, and they are recycled, they are redeployed. So maybe that is a red flag to maybe be cautious of. And as for the bundle, it could be funds dispersed to multiple wallet addresses, so it could be a lot of stealth insider holding. Insider holders could be tokens airdropped or transfers without payments, and that is a pretty big red flag. Snipers holding are usually first block transactions, and contrary to what I said about bundles, they're usually pretty bad. Good coins usually don't have high snipe percentages, since not everyone's going to recognize what does well immediately. And over here we have the tracker section, which is undeniably one of the most powerful and most useful tool while trading meme coins. You have both the wallet manager, which is allowing you to track wallets in live time, and also a Twitter tracker. And for this list, I'm going to give you a list of wallets and Twitters to track in the link in the description. You go ahead and go over to this list, copy and paste the track Twitter accounts, go back to Axiom, add Twitter handles, import, and paste this list. Once you've imported them, you're going to have Twitter alerts when these pages tweet, and that's going to help you stay in tune with the market at all times. And similar to the track Twitter accounts, you can go ahead and copy and paste some wallet addresses that you could indeed track. So if you go ahead and import, paste, import, and you'll have all of these wallets imported. So what I would recommend is placing the Twitter tracker besides Pulse and watch them in tandem. You know, when Elon tweets or when CT has some huge cultural shift, that's your window of opportunity to make a lot of money. You know, during the political meta, I caught narrative plays early over Twitter tracking and made over $300,000 off of this meta alone. And that's not speculation, it's preparation combined with precise timing. For example, this coin Big Balls. So as you can see by going back at the chart, you can see that Big Balls was sitting at around 1 million. We saw an opportunity where Elon Musk was spamming the meme Big Balls on our Twitter monitors, and we jumped at it. I was able to make $300,000 and members were able to make hundreds of Solana, as you can see. And moving on, Axiom allows you to import a lot of wallet lists, and this is where most traders go completely wrong. They either copy trade blindly or ignore this entirely. So in terms of wallet tracking, I want you to reverse engineer everything. I don't want you to just blindly copy trade other traders. The purpose is to track attention, see what's hot in the market, and not to just mirror other people's trades. I want you to always do your own due diligence and make sure the coin is actually solid. And that means maybe going over to their Twitter community, going over to their news, looking who founded the coin, and looking at what's backing it. I always want you to avoid herd FOMO. Sometimes I literally sell when I see heavy copy trader wallets buying. For example, Cupsy, Gake, POW. I literally sell what I'm holding. In terms of wallet tracking, I also want you to observe buys and timing. Look for what these wallets are buying and when they're buying. Are they getting consistent early entries? Are their P&Ls constantly in the hundreds of percentages? Or are they just getting lucky wins? Are they rotating intelligently? Are they selling right after the first candle? How are they playing these coins? Those are all questions I want you to ask yourself constantly while you're trading. These traders, I want you to track their live P&Ls. I want you to see how much they're up and down in real time. You need to filter out which are lucky one-off wins. You know, some traders just hit millions of dollars of a P&L and that's their only win that they ever win. Some traders consistently win day after day. You want to track these trends. I want you to study their portfolio behavior, and the wallets that print follow their only high-performing and consistent wallets. Learn patterns and don't just mimic their trades. The golden rule to tracking wallets is if you're copy trading without any context, it's just a shortcut to being their exit liquidity. So in terms of presets, they're pretty important. I'm going to share you what my personal presets for trading meme coins are. So if you go over here and press preset 1, I'm going to show you my buy and sell settings. In terms of slippage, I usually go around 30 to 50%. The reason why is because meme coins are so volatile, so it needs to be this high. The priority fee, I would set it around 0.03 to 0.05, and same for the bribery. But I do want to note that usually you can keep it low like 0.01, but if you're trying to snipe something, you can make it higher like 0.03 or 0.05. For priority fees and bribe fees, I have them around 0.03 to 0.05 so I can get filled the fastest. But I do want to note that you can usually keep it low, like 0.01, but if you're trying to snipe something, you might want to make it higher, like 0.03 or 0.05. And for Mev mode, I would definitely keep it at secure. And for sell settings, similar presets apply. Slippage 50%, bribery and priority maybe 0.01. Mev mode definitely secure. Set those presets once and save them. So now when the right token appears, you can actually just act and have these instant entries, instant exits, and you won't have any failures when you're trying to go and transact each coin. I mean, if you're clicking through settings when the opportunity actually arises, you've probably already lost your opportunity and your entry. And as for quick buy settings, you can set them up in new pairs, final stretch, and migrated. I only deposit what I'm prepared to lose. I personally trade in maybe 3 to 5 SOL increments on high conviction starters, but maybe you can do like 1 SOL depending on your bankroll. The reason why I recommend this strategy is because if it rugs, you still survive. If it flies, you scale your portfolio, and if it prints, you can rotate your liquidity into something else. Me personally, I always have multiple wallets, and anytime my trenching wallet goes over a certain amount, let's say 100 SOL, I would deposit that into my treasury wallet, and that way it physically limits my risk. And what I'd like to note about Axiom is you get paid to trade. Every single executed trade returns in a rebate, and you're automatically credited. And when you're trading a lot, these rebates really stack very fast. Compared to regular dexes or trading bots that literally charge fees, Axiom uses those fees and gives you rebates. And I've literally made over $30,000 this month off of my own trading volume off of rebates, whereas I would have never made that type of money using any other trading bot. And by using other trading bots in the past, I've missed out on tens of thousands of dollars. Obviously though, the numbers would vary based on your trading volume. And guys, even though you've got the trading setup that has made me millions, you won't be able to fully utilize it without this next step. And it's the invisible edge of environment and community. You can learn to trade in solitude, but you'll never master it in the presence of giants. And what I mean by that is trying to make it a Memecoin solo is a death sentence. It's not like equities or slow churning swing trades. It's a full contact intellectual war zone. It's a brutal market. Everyone's trying to use each other PvP as exit liquidity. You're moving at market reflexes and Twitter algorithms. There's no training wheels, no safety net, no time to overanalyze. If you're late, you simply just lose. And if you're wrong, you just bleed. And the people who are winning, they're not doing it alone. They're doing it in groups. They're doing it in alliances. Information moves faster than the chain. Capital, attention, and conviction are crowdsourced in real time. And this is what I mean. Grab a friend, trade together, join a community, and learn from each other. The more eyes genuinely is the better. Someone else could send you a contract address. You might not even know about this coin, but he did full due diligence, gave a good thesis, and it's a good buy. Then you can do your own due diligence and filter out if this coin is a good buy, and maybe that's an opportunity that you would have missed out if you weren't in alliances. Look guys, let me just be honest with you. Meme coins are a game of pattern recognition, social psychology, and narrative surfing. The more sets of eyes you have on the field, the better. The more opportunities you will find. For example, I could have one person monitoring key wallets for buys and sells and potentially spotting high conviction entries early. Another person could literally be sitting on Axiom, looking at Pulse, looking at new pairs and what coins are launching. Another person, he could be looking at trends, terms, hashtags. He could literally be scrolling on your TikTok For You page and looking at what memes are potentially viral. And another person, he could be watching contract deployers, identifying patterns in successful launches. Alone, you can find plays, but together you'll be able to actually front run these metas. Every single trader who has scaled to 6 or 7 figures or even more will tell you the same exact thing. It wasn't just their edge, it also came from network and collaboration. Information moves faster in groups. Network can spot and act before the broader market. For example, when I was in college, Alex and I were literally sitting in the dorm rooms looking at new pairs, spotting, one person was watching new pairs, another person was in Discord server scanning constantly, and we were able to find literally every single viral play, netting us tens of thousands of dollars every single day in trades. And now I literally live with multiple meme coin traders, Alex, Shams to name a few. And we literally sit all day on our computers looking tens of hours every single day to look at what plays we could have potentially missed out on. And eventually, one time, one person will just find a coin and we don't miss out on any plays. And guys, let me just inform you about something that is extremely real that has probably happened to most meme coin traders. 90% of the free alpha on Telegram is just a bait built to farm you and not to help you. For example, the admin will launch a coin and he'll buy 20% of supply pre-launch. And sometimes I've seen some egregious amounts going up to maybe 80 to 90% of the supply. They call it in the group and they say, guys, this coin will literally moon. And, unfortunately the noob, he apes in and the admin exits, using you for exit liquidity. And the problem with the Telegram trap is there's no real education, there's no transparency in meme coins, there's no feedback loop. You're just going to end up with a big fat red P&L. Back years ago, I joined thinking that I'd get plugged in, but I got dumped on repeatedly. I'd think like, oh my god, I'll just catch the next one. And I ended up learning nothing, and I wasted months recovering thousands of dollars that I lost in those Telegram groups. And now let me show you what the right environment would kind of look like. It would be experienced traders making their own calls, not just copying other people. It would be having clear reasoning and clear breakdowns on why these coins would go up. Calls that really just come from real-time research, wallet tracking, narrative sniping, and deployer pattern recognition. It's all about transparency, feedback, and no censorship. And here at the Fortune Inner Circle, we've built exactly that. We've consistently had over an 80% win rate over the course of an entire year, even during market downturns, hitting plays like Kita, which was 10 mil to 1.68 bill, which is 168x. SBET, that was 160k to 16 mil, which is an 100x, and KeyCat, in which we front ran a Coinbase listing. Speculated correctly based off of our thesis with 7x on size. And Useless, which was an 80x that netted us over 7 figures in profit. And on top of that, we made millions of dollars off the stock SBET, which we called at $9 and exited at $43, which was a close to 5x. We've helped Co make multiple $1 million plays. Bayside, a 15-year-old kid who joined a few months ago, starting with a few $100, has now scaled to over $300,000 in his portfolio. An enabler who made over $30,000 in a matter of days over some live calls. This is the only place where I actively trade live in front of everyone. You'll see my entries and exits, my rationale. Nothing is hidden. And more importantly, you're not just watching, you're participating. You'll be surrounded by high-level thinkers, 7- and 8-figure traders, and the most ambitious degenerates I have ever met. So if you're interested, you can check out the first link in the description below. So now let's just do a little quick recap. I'm going to show you why this setup wins. The advantage is most people are scrambling and they're losing minutes, and you're already in a trade. You're managing a position and you're scanning the next coin. You're beating them with simply just having more edge, speed, and systems. Meme coins aren't a joke. They are velocity-driven attention vehicles that live or die based on culture, timing, and narrative friction. I'm telling you guys, meme coins are an attention market. It's uniquely asymmetric with uncapped upside, and they operate in public markets with no permission. It genuinely does reflect social psychology. And 3 reasons why meme coins work for the underdog. Narrative liquidity. If you're right early, capital follows. Community scale. Strong memes from fast-growing echo chambers. Execution velocity. Anyone with skill can front-run inefficiency. So if you see a gap in the market and you see that this coin is undervalued or underpriced and you build a thesis on it, you could potentially hit a coin that 100x's. The system that I've had you set up is tactical speculation. It is the closest thing to digital jiu-jitsu. Use the system's own weight against it. It's not investing, it's speculation. It's tactical speculation. It rewards fast execution, fractal memory, and emotional detachment. Volatility is the price that you pay for asymmetric returns. If you can't stomach some swings, you're trading the worst asset class. Meme coins aren't for you. If you don't want to take a 50% loss to maybe potentially win 100x, 1000x, I'm sorry, but meme coins aren't for you. And now I'm going to contrast this with why most people lose. It's because they're over-leveraged emotionally, not just capital-wise, and they blindly buy into coins. You see this all the time. They don't even know what they're buying into, and that's why they lose 99% of what they put in. They're just chasing hype, but not actually building conviction in these coins. I ask people, why did they even buy it? They don't even know. They didn't even have a potential catalyst they had in mind. They didn't have a thesis in mind. They just stare at me. They're like, oh, I don't even know why I did this. And this is why you need to consistently journal and consistently have a risk management plan. And now welcome to the most important part of this entire course. The truth is 99% of traders lose because they're looking at the wrong things. They're glued to charts, RSI, MACD. They're old market tools for boomer stocks. Meme coins don't care about that. It's an attention market. If you want to win, you gotta stop trading coins, you gotta start trading narratives and start trading off of conviction. As I said, you need to sit on Axiom all day, curate your Twitter profile, and hunt for these high quality narratives. Now you might ask, what is a narrative? A narrative is a meme with market power, the psychological scaffolding people use to justify risk. In crypto, narrative equals momentum with meaning. It explains, why now? Why this? Why them? It doesn't need to be true, only believable. You see, meme coins are belief systems. They're intrinsically worth nothing, but belief systems move money faster than fundamentals ever could. So what is the trend or meme that the coin was made around? And is that story something that is gaining a lot of attention at the moment or has the potential to in the future? What is the story behind the coin? Ask yourself that. What meme/friend was it built around? I want you to ask yourself, what is the story behind the coin? What meme or trend was it built around? Sorry, typo. And is it gaining attention now or likely too soon? Is it unique or is it a copy? And does it fit in the current meta? The meta would be the overarching narrative doing, sub-narratives, stories within the meta. Now, where can you find a coin's narrative? Narratives are a question you can find the answer to by doing proper research. You can kind of get a grasp of what the coin's narrative is on Axiom, or going on the coin's Twitter, checking their posts, followers, and following, their coin's website, Telegram, or Discord, or even GitHub if it's a utility or AI coin. And with experience, this process takes seconds. In the attention market that crypto is, a strong narrative is going to bring more eyes and ultimately raise the price. And with narratives, you always need to look for future catalysts. If the market cap is 10 million, why would someone buy at 100 million? If the market cap is 100 million, why would someone buy at 1 billion? What events or news could spark the necessary move? An example would be an AI coin versus a political news coin. An AI coin could have continuous development, long-term utility, and relevance in a growing field. Whereas if you're holding a long-term, political news coin, political news coins have short-term hype. They have limited use case tied to a specific event, and they usually have declining relevance over time. Take Trump coin, for example. If you take a look at Trump coin, for example, it launched and then it shot up immediately to $65. And then as attention and news gone away and then slowed down, it slowly bled to pretty much $8 to what it is now. Going back to focusing on the hot narrative. For example, if we're in an AI meta, it is plus EV to buy AI coins. And when trenching, however, just because we're in an AI meta doesn't mean that non-AI coins won't 100% perform well. So if you find yourself buying an off-meta coin, think about why it might have the strength and uniqueness to differentiate itself and outperform amongst all the AI coins. Crypto and meme coin trading is all about narratives. And you can also use narratives to place price targets. So for a while, we were in the dog/whiff meta. You would see a lot of coins with, dogs in them going very high, and a lot of coins with whiff in the title of the ticker going extremely high because we were in a dog whiff meta. In metas, there are alpha and beta plays. Corny, I know, but stay with me. The alpha or frontrunner of the coin is the focal point of the meta. It has the most mindshare and liquidity. While the beta play, they're just cope plays. They're derivatives or spin-offs of alpha. And the potential to reach maybe 10% of the alpha's market cap. I'll give you another example of an alpha and beta play. So back when Trump launched, it was peak mania. It was political chaos and election volatility. And there was so much money flowing into the markets. So that was the alpha play. And there were beta plays, I guess. So for example, it would be Melania coin. Melania, Trump dropped a coin and it went maybe over 10% of what Trump went to. And market cap for these were insane. Trump coin was at billions of dollars and Melania was at billions of dollars. And these narratives and these stories, playing the alpha and beta plays, can invite millions of dollars to be made. I mean, me personally, I made $4 million off of Trump. Thing with beta plays though is they're not guaranteed to go up just because the alpha play is continuing to perform. They're often weak and they end up dying. And sometimes they might never recover even if the alpha is doing well. In any case though, a strong beta play can also reach up to maybe 10% of the alpha play's market cap. So it's not definitely a bad strategy to play them if you can get a good entry for a beta for a high market cap coin. So when you're early on a narrative, you're not just trading off of a coin, you're betting off of mass psychology. Just be sure though to not get caught up in all of those derivatives of the alpha play because there's usually maybe one or two good betas and the rest are just garbage pump and dumps. So now that we have an idea of what a narrative actually is, I'm going to show you how to actually identify good ones. Now, when people get into meme coins, I see them blindly going to trades, buying new pairs, and with narratives that they can't even properly understand. This, however, is the most aggressive on-chain system that I've built that filters out all the chaos and has been able to make me over 8 figures trading meme coins. And what I named it is the alpha filter. We don't predict, we filter. Before you enter a trade, you need to understand why it even exists. And more importantly, why it might misprice. That is the foundation of the alpha filter. Our entire system, the same one that scaled us to consistent 6 and 7 figure months, is called the alpha filter and it's part of a 3-part filtration engine. So part 1 of the alpha filter, it's the market condition check. I want you to look at the macro and condition of the market to see how much volume there is on chain, looking how risk on or risk off you should be. I want you to look at leading narratives and ask yourself, is now a good time to be aggressive? If yes, deploy system at full capacity. If there's a lot of volume across new launches and new coins printing every 3 or 4 hours, sentiment check, bonk, pump, are these launch pads showing strength? When you're deploying system at full capacity, you look at the leading narrative, AI meta, dog coins, etc., whatever it could be. You look at high performing narrative. High performing narrative boosts similar coins in the same theme. So for example, launch coin and AI narrative. There are a lot of AI founders and technical founders dropping their own coins seeking to raise funds for their technical product. So when launch coin went up extremely high, a lot of other AI coins and coins that were launched on their launch pad were also simultaneously going extremely high. And that's what we call an AI meta, and that was a time where we wanted to deploy a lot of capital and watch out for new coins. If no, I want you to sit out and only accumulate on A+ conviction plays. Most people lose because they trade every single day, but I win because I only trade when it's the proper time. And now that we know where our money should be focused on, let's actually filter out the good narratives within the environment that we've analyzed. For this step, remember that crypto is an attention market and attention is value. And to evaluate how much attention this narrative is going to get, I've boiled it down to 4 simple questions. How many people will see the narrative? How big is the audience that the coin appeals to? Remember, when you're trading meme coins, you're kind of acting like a venture capitalist. You're looking at total addressable market and metrics in the own meme coin space. 2, how will people react? How well does it resonate with crypto? And look for proven historical examples. And 3, what is the ceiling of attention? Look for over or undervalued indicators. Find historical patterns and look at the root of the narrative. And 4, how long will this attention last? Some coins are designed to last longer. It doesn't equate to whether a coin is good or bad, but it's a good sign to know whether or not you're going to hold or kind of swing this play. And part 3 is the inefficiency check. This is where you find your edge. Ask yourself, has CT caught onto this yet? Or am I late to the move? If yes, just pass on the trade and wait for a new narrative. Sometimes taking no trade is the best trade. Ask yourself, at looking at this coin, is the founder or deployer connected to previous runners? Look for narrative echo. If no, this is a potential inefficiency. And inefficiency is a narrative that hasn't really reached saturation. It might be undervalued. And is the founder or deployer connected to previous runners? If it is, the narrative might echo with rips and people rotate to beta dog coins. Narratives are always best to buy when fundamentals are there, but it's not crowded. I hate going into overcrowded trades when everyone thinks that the coin is going to go up. That's not a good trade. Rotation signal. If an AI coin is doing huge numbers, what similar coins haven't reacted yet? It's like potentially looking for a beta play, as I said. This process removes the noise and helps you really build conviction. And that's the alpha filter. Utilizing this is really going to help you build conviction on your own plays. And the most important aspect of meme coins, and something that a lot of people truly don't understand, is what it means to actually have your own conviction in a coin. The 12th community coin that pops up on new pairs with some random behind it isn't going to be something that you can have conviction for. The alpha filter is going to remove all that noise and give you some screening process to work with. So all this new information might be a little bit overwhelming, but let me demonstrate with an actual example. So a practical example of how we utilize the alpha filter is actually through a coin called Memecoin. And it's also how I actually made $500,000 from this one trade. So I'm going to break it down to you right now. So step one, obviously, the market condition check. While I was scrolling through Twitter, I actually stumbled across a coin called Memecoin. And this was during the AI meta. Before I even knew what it was about, why did I even look into it? AI coins had a very, very strong mindshare due to coins like GOAT at the time. It was the leading alpha of the AI narrative. And as GOAT, the leading coin of the AI meta was running to tens of millions, hundreds of millions, and even billions of market cap, I was pretty much paying attention to every single good tech coin that I saw, because every single coin could be running to tens of millions of dollars. And I mean, market during this AI meta was extremely, extremely good. You would see many AI coins running to hundreds of millions of market cap. For example, this coin called Bro, it ran up to 800 million almost market cap. And this was right after Trump got reelected, and it was right after the August retrace. So step two would be the narrative valuation check. So what would be the narrative behind Memecoin? What was the backings of it? It was a tech coin with insane backings. Yes, it actually was. So it validated the narrative and its potential attention. Does the narrative generate attention? Yes, the backings and the app would draw eyes. I mean, there was an app behind it. There was a paradigm follow. And all of these things could validate the potential attention. And was there a long-term use case? For now, it would be yes, devs are building on the app. So for as long as devs are building on the app and continuing to make more updates, the coin actually had use case for their tech and it could keep going up. But attention could also be short-lived as devs could disassociate and actually abandon the project. And as you can see right here, Dracula was a real app. That was the app that was connected to this coin called Memecoin. And it was followed by Paradigm, which is one of the biggest crypto investment firms out there, and it was a massive player in the space, so that could have validated our thesis. And step number three, it was all about identifying inefficiency. It's about finding a mispriced asset with insane potential. This is how you get into these 100x's, guys. It didn't make sense that, similar coins were at tens of millions, hundreds of millions backed by these VC firms, and it was only at 30K market cap. What was there to lose? So we bought into this coin, Memecoin. We bought in, held for days, and, a few days later, it was a $500,000 profit day, and all of this was documented. And as you can see right here, the deck screener was updated by the team. So as you can see right here, the narrative was pretty much validated. And down here, the massive influx came. The moment where the team actually added liquidity, and our thesis was correct. We got in at $30,000 market cap, and it ran all the way over here. If you take a look at this video right here, I was up hundreds of thousands of dollars across wallets. This is one wallet, another wallet right here. And ultimately, we were able to make over $500,000 on this one trade, just me alone. If you don't believe me, just take a look at these pictures and videos. $60,000 profit here, right there. Another 16 ETH profit, right here. Another $400,000, all documented. And in this play, guys, if I did not have the alpha filter in mind, I wouldn't even have gotten to this trade in the first place. And even if I had, I wouldn't have the structure in place to actually capitalize on this opportunity. Now, another example of a coin that you might have heard of was Trump coin, and I'm going to walk you through the trade that made us over $7 million off of one coin alone. So step one, obviously you would have the market condition check. Solana was near all-time highs and there was a lot of volume going into new pairs that were being dropped. Meme coins were looking like they were about to explode. And I knew that opportunities were about to arise and I was going to be able to be much more risk on with my capital. But during this time, there was no big solid meta, so I was just watching for strong narratives. So number two, when Trump coin arrived on our radars, it was a huge opportunity in front of our eyes. Narrative valuation check. Trump had unparalleled influence. In front of our eyes, it was the most popular man in the world launching a meme coin. Will everyone see it? The answer is yes, due to his influence. I mean, ask your mom, ask your dad, do they know who Trump is? Even ask your grandma, do they know who Trump is? They probably know who he is. So due to his influence, most likely everyone will see it. So now that everyone including retail will see it, will people even buy? And for me, the obvious answer was yes. His influence incites action. Someone like Trump with that much influence doing that would incite people to buy. He wouldn't just do it for no reason at all. How high is the ceiling? Well, the biggest coin on Sol at the moment was WIF, so there was an extremely high ceiling, and I thought that it had an extremely high chance of overtaking WIF. So as long as Trump kept mentioning it and people kept talking about it, Memecoin Mindshare was at an all-time high. Step 3, identifying inefficiency. I was finding a multi-billion-dollar narrative at a discount. I mean, meme coins and AI coins were going to billions of dollars. So why couldn't Trump's own meme coin go to multi-billions? And so I think it was a Friday night, but we caught it at $500 million market cap. It appeared on my Twitter tracker, and I believe it was on Truth Social. We weren't too sure if it was real, but it was a gamble worth taking. I knew that the person with the most influence in crypto and the most popular man launching a coin was undervalued at 500 million, and it would go to multiple billions. There was a clear inefficiency, and it was undervalued where I saw it. Now, I just want to emphasize again, Mindshare is the new market cap. Attention is the most scarce resource, not money, not tokens, it's attention. The whole point of the alpha filter is identifying this attention and evaluating based off of it. If you can actually understand attention before the masses, trade attention before it peaks, and actually apply the alpha filter and exit attention before it dies, you are going to be sure to make a lot of profit trading meme coins. And now we're going to move on to spotting rugs, insider activity, and avoiding these blown wallets. You don't blow up from bad trades, you blow up from bad habits. So now we know how to evaluate narratives and what will make us money, but what should you straight up avoid? Now this section will make you more money than any bot, any call, or any play, because all it takes is one rug to undo all those weeks of gains. So let's dive deep and go into what is a rug really. Most people think it's just a dev pulling liquidity, but a rug is any scenario where the system was designed against you from the beginning. There's rugs like soft rugs where the dev vanishes, there's no support, and it's a dead chart. It just slowly leaves. There's rugs like hard rugs where the liquidity pool is pulled instantly and all your funds are gone immediately. And I guess you can also say a slow bleed is also a rug because early insiders just are dumping on you gradually and you exit in red. Rugs are both social and technical, so you need to analyze both. So what are some red flags, you might ask? It could be an anonymous dev, but this only matters for tech and AI coins. Or it could be low effort or stolen memes. Check if it's a repeat. Or if they literally have no Twitter presence, it's just bots. And lastly, it could also be repetitive influencer engagement farming. It's just all same copy and pasta replies. I'm going to show you an example of an influencer engagement farming. They're just doing the same copy and pasta replies. They're doing the same posts over and over again. They're doing these fake giveaways. They're showing a ton of projects. And so obvious that they have no dignity to what they are promoting. Every single time they're going to launch a coin or a ticker, just expect it to go immediately to zero. If you really want to check, you can run reverse image searches on memes or profile pictures. You could check dev activity on their accounts, their age, their posts. But typically, real community is organic. Real memes evolve and rugs don't. And now, on-chain rug detection. Key questions. Ask yourself, is it egregious? Is the holder distribution egregious? Is the deployer a serial rugger? Use tools like Axiom to check deployer history and wallets. I'm going to show you again how to do this. So for example, if you're looking back on Pulse and you see this coin at 73% top 10 holders, that is a egregious holder count. 73% bundle holding, that is egregious. If you go back and then you look at dev tokens, you've launched coins in the past. So let's move on to another coin and check it out right now. So this coin, AGOC, it literally has 19 dev tokens, meaning the deployer literally launched 19 coins in the past, and you can check them out right now. If you're not checking these, you're not a trader, you're just simply exit liquidity. And last but not least, I'm going to go into emotional rugs, and this is the silent killer. Most rugs are internal. You are rugging yourself, you're the rug, guys. So how do traders actually blow up? The over leverage on one coin, they're chasing plays with no filter, just blindly going into coins, and they're going all in because of fear of missing out. And these are examples of emotional rugs, and the truth is you rugged yourself. And these rugs all happen when you abandon your system, you need this trade to work, and you think that this coin is going to be different, but it's not. The solution is to build habits, stick to your system, use presets, automate your buy and sell size. As I told you guys, on Axiom, you can literally set how much size you use when you're buying these new pairs. Also, I recommend dollar cost averaging. If you think that your entry is too high and you have conviction on this coin, continue to dollar cost average. Meaning, if the price goes down, you can keep adding size and your average cost goes down. And I want you to set exits on chain. Predetermine your stop loss and take profit, guys. Profit will never hurt anyone, and also you can literally set mental price targets if you need to. Now, risk management and psychology. This is where a lot of you guys go wrong. This section's not about alpha, it's simply about survival, and that's where 99% of traders disqualify themselves. You need to treat every single wallet like it can be gone tomorrow. Here's an easy structure that you can use. Your main wallet, maybe max 50 SOL, and you only execute on top conviction plays. No exploratory buys. Your test wallet can have 1 to 3 SOL for sniffing new coins, fast in and out, no attachments. And third, your vault wallet. You can have a cold storage here, you can rotate profits out of your main here, and I would never reuse keys or addresses. I would use a hardware wallet for the vault, like a Ledger or a Trezor, and I would split risk by coin types, memes, perps, or stable yield. And by telling you all this, I don't want to fearmonger you, don't expect the worst, but prepare for it. The fastest way to blow up your port is by believing you are the exception to getting rugged. Always be prepared, guys. Be hedged for the worst possible scenario. But that's how you win big. That's not how you win big. That's how you lose everything. And even if it works once, you're bound to lose it all chasing euphoria later. It happens to all of us. I've went through it. My friends have went through it. And every single trader that I've seen has went through it. People think that they're going to hit 1,000 X's on the first day, but it's not simple like that. The market doesn't take your money. Your behavior gives it away. And now the core pillars of risk. Capital preservation precedes capital multiplication. If I told you today I could give you $1 million now, or you could maybe gamble it and have $2 million at a 50% chance, would you want $1 million guaranteed or $2 million at a 50% chance? Most of you would say $1 million now. A good exit is always better than a perfect entry. Your edge is meaningless if you cannot execute under stress. This is a framework that is pretty good for beginners. It's 1 to 2% for speculative snipes, 5 to 7% for rotational setups, and 10% to 15% max for high conviction meta plays. If you bet like you're trying to impress a screenshot, you're already lost. Now, the 4 types of emotional tilt. There's revenge tilt, entering again out of ego, not edge. This happens to the best of us. Desperation tilt, risking more because of a deadline or guilt. Validation tilt, trying to prove you are right to others. Or hope tilt, ignoring red flags because you're married to a position. Never marry these coins. These coins are literal meme coins. They're worth nothing, guys. Your point, trading meme coins, is to make money, not to marry these coins. Bro, you're marrying a literal animal meme. Like, what is wrong with you? You don't fix pain in the market, you just exit it. So some people ask me, what are daily rituals to avoid tilt? I'd recommend you doing some market review and journaling for at least 10 minutes. And then midday, walk or do a dopamine reset. Just get off your screens for a second. Think about and reflect on what your trading journey has been today. And after you're done with all your trading for the day, I recommend a reflection log, your entry, exit, mistake, and outcome. This is why I recommend journaling so much to every single trader, regardless of skill level. Even if you're an experienced trader, I would recommend journaling. Even if you're a complete beginner, I would recommend journaling. And now in my personal server, I recommend literally everyone taking a journal entry, and it really helps them enforce what they've learned, every single thing that they have reflected on, and it really ingrains it inside of their heads. Remember guys, you are not a trader, you are a risk-controlled algorithm in human form. So I want you guys to act like it. You don't need to be the first to know, you just need to know what the best are doing. Now, trade like everyone is lying to you. Crypto is a rigged game, and I'm going to teach you how to beat it. Crypto is not what you think it is. It's not a place where value is created. It's a place where value is transferred from those who don't know what they're doing to those who do. Every single trader is literally stealing money away from each other. Money is stolen, not made. Crypto looks like freedom to everyone, like fairness, like anyone can make it, but I want you guys to look deeper and you'll realize that this market is just pure gamified extraction. It's a psychological arcade where every dopamine hit costs you Solana. And these are some myths. You're told to do your own research, but the reality is research without having an edge and applying the alpha filter and getting in early is just guesswork. You're also told to buy low and sell high, but by the time you're in without actually applying the alpha filter or applying your own thesis, someone already bought in lower. And as I said, a lot of people say join the community, but most communities are just exit liquidity cults built to farm you for attention. So treat everyone like an enemy. If you don't know who planted the narrative, you are the narrative. Let's talk psychology, guys. This is the house money effect and why you keep losing. When you win early, your brain categorizes that profit as not real. This is the house money effect, and it causes you to trade more aggressively and recklessly. Most of you who are losing don't even recognize that you are being gamed. And guys, that same brain chemistry that makes you chase another 5x is the one that makes you ignore red flags. You don't feel that risk when you're up, and that's exactly when you lose it all. And this is combined with a lot of psychological theories. There's the anchoring bias. You think the coin will return to your entry price, but guys, it just won't if it's a bad narrative. And there's narrative fatigue. The same meme can only print so many times before it decays. There's a reason why Trump coin isn't sitting at $50+ anymore. There's a reason why all the AI coins aren't at hundreds of millions of market cap anymore. It already printed so many times. And recency bias. Just because coin A 10x's doesn't mean a copycat will. The market isn't fair, it's a psychological trap, and the only way to survive is to see the trap before you step in. Now there are levels to the curve. This is the structure of the game, and most people think that there are two kinds of traders, smart and dumb, but that's not necessarily how the game works. So it starts off at level 1, which are retail degens, the FOMO off of memes and TikToks, their exit liquidity. And most of you guys watching right now are definitely sitting around here. And level 2 are semi-aware traders. They have a basic system, but they are reactive. They follow the narratives, but they don't lead them. So these semi-aware traders would be watching pulse, having somewhat of a system, checking the market cap, checking the holders, socials. They are reactive, but they don't lead the narratives. They just follow them. So these people right here, they are the coin launchers. They are the whisper accounts or the group chat originators. They don't care about the coin. All they care about is filling their bags up when you buy the coin. For example, these guys would create the coin, send 5 sold to a few meme accounts, post a bullish thread, and watch as the herd forms and fills their bags. And then, as the price goes up, they just start dumping on you. Their bags are filled at $10,000, $20,000 market caps, while your bags are filled at $1 to $2 million market caps. They aren't traders, they're just storytellers with exit strategies. And out of this chart, I want to say I'm about level 2, semi-aware traders. I'll never go to the narrative architects where I'm dropping my own coins, but I am very aware and following the narratives. And for those of you who are traders, unless you wake up to the fact that this system is indeed in place, you'll keep getting drained by this machine over and over again until there's nothing left. There's a saying that goes, the house always wins, but that doesn't mean you can't play like the house. Most of you guys should be aiming towards level 2, semi-aware traders. Now there is no such thing as free alpha. Alpha is not something that you're given, it is something that you extract. Most of you guys are trapped in free call telegrams run by clowns who say they're going to give you alpha, but here's the truth. They buy 30% of the supply before they say a single word. They launch, they shill, and then they dump. And then they hide behind locked chats and laugh at you while you bag hold. You are not in a group, you are in a trap farm, and as soon as you buy, they have no incentive to keep the coin running. Your money is already in their pockets. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, if you get into one of those coins and you don't leave, you'll get left bleeding dry like the other 500 people who bought before you. And I know some of you guys might be asking, yeah, James, you do the same with your group. But yes and no at the same time. Yes, I'm here to sell you on joining my group because joining my inner circle is the best chance for you to make 7 figures in crypto. But I'm also incentivized. I literally have to make you guys money because you guys are going to act as my testimonials, you guys are going to refer your friends, and you guys are going to act as my social proof. But ultimately, we are a group that's constantly building and sharing alpha with the strongest insights, and the more eyes, the more signal, the more wins we have. I mean, guys, we've literally front-ran Coinbase listings before they went public. We've watched teenagers go from $300 into $300,000. And it wasn't luck, it was system, it was structure, and signal clarity. You don't beat this game alone, you beat it with tools, with tribes, and with truth. So now we're moving on to the survival mindset, how to play the game. I want you to assume that nothing is safe. Assume that every single dev wants to rug you. Assume that every single influencer who has shielded a coin has already exited. And assume that every single play will go to zero. At the end of the day, I want to drill into your mind to remember the end goal of every single coin is to extract money, and your job is to get a piece of that. Let's keep going to the journal section. The journal is your defense against ruin. Blown wallets don't come from one bad trade, they come from forgetting the system that got you here. If you want to know how people literally lose everything, they do this. They turn 1K into 50K with a big win, and then they have a critical mistake of skipping journaling. That big win that they made usually comes from luck, and so their bad habits form and they start YOLOing into every single pump. And they end up throwing so much money back into the markets because of the house money effect I was talking about earlier. The faster their money was earned, they treat it as if it was nothing. So they double down on losers and hold into deep dips. They don't actually understand the system that got them there in the first place. And you know what? They exit at the bottom of a blown wallet. I'm going to tell you guys about a very funny story that I've encountered. So last summer I've happened to introduce one of my real life friends to Memecoins. He happened to get into Fartcoin upon my scan in one of my servers at $20,000 market cap. And if you guys happen to know anything about Fartcoin, it is one of the biggest meme coins. And what happened to this coin is it literally exploded here. And he exited around 200 million market cap for thousands of X's. He turned 2 Solana into $500,000. And keep in mind, my friend was just a regular high schooler. So he felt extremely rich, and that $500,000 was a crazy win for him. He thought, if I can make $500,000 off of one big win, I'll make $500 million. So he literally bought into every single pump, he doubled down on losers, and he turned that $500,000, and by the end of the year, that money was about $10,000. I see so many kids in crypto these days getting in and out. They keep making hundreds of thousands of dollars and then blowing it all, making millions of dollars and then blowing it all. I'm going to tell you the solution, and it's journaling your trades. It only takes a few minutes a day, and it will save you months or years of struggle. Imagine how hard it is to actually make hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars even. I mean, me personally, I've lost 8 figures in NFTs last cycle when it took me years to recoup that loss. If I had journaled my trades, I don't think I'd have had to spend years of struggle because I wouldn't have forgotten the system that got me there. It was just pure euphoria at the time. So ask yourself these 4 questions after every single trade. What was the narrative of the coin I bought? Why did I buy where I did? Why did I hold? For how long did I hold? Why did I sell where I did? Once you've answered them, analyze and reflect on what you could have done better. Nobody is a perfect trader, and even I have instances where I look back and then I realize I could have executed better. Along with that, also analyze and replicate. Ask yourself what you did well so you can reinforce that for future trades. By doing this, you will always know your true skill level as a trader, know your trading style, and if it fits the current market, keep yourself grounded and objective, and also create a clear path for constant improvement. Scaling through community, influence, and impact. How to build a network on Twitter. Though it might not seem so useful in trading, it has actually given me so much value over the years, and I would have missed out on hundreds of thousands of dollars if I had not had a network on Twitter. So number 1, offer value, be funny, interact with communities, and provide alpha and trading tips. If you give alpha to other people, you'll find yourself in the right circles and FNFs, and other people will provide alpha to you. People can give you certain edges in certain coins, or people can introduce you to the right people to scale your portfolio. Again, you can follow me on Twitter for some real-time alpha. So here I've built another transformation roadmap. If you're starting at zero, here's what you should do immediately to start your journey. So the setup: get your tools, Axiom, apps, etc. Immerse. Follow top accounts on crypto Twitter and join communities. And then I would say practice and create a small learner's wallet. Study. Look at these popular wallets and why past runners to understand the why. Journal your trades, log your trades and your thoughts regularly, and also, most importantly, apply the alpha filter to every single coin to train your thesis. The goal right now isn't to make money right away, but it is to position yourself properly so that you're ready to make a lot of money when the opportunity presents itself. The journey isn't just about the charts, it's about who you become, from retail to sovereign, from consumer to commander. Now, beyond meme coin trading, there are also other ways to make money in crypto. You don't need to lever your capital, you need to lever your positioning. So for example, some new asymmetric trades could be ICOs, angel rounds, airdrop farming, point systems, and TGEs. It's asymmetry disguised as boredom. Most people are not looking at these trades while they're focused on meme coin trading, and you could position yourself to get into these new asymmetric trades to reap the benefits when the opportunities arise. I'll tell you about a personal case study. It was the Blur airdrop. It was a $2 million play for me. Blur launched quietly. It was an NFT marketplace for pros. It was clean, fast, and optimized. It wasn't PFP spam like OpenSea. This was the difference. It was PFP clutter, and this was trading for pros. But people didn't really see that. If you look deeper, Blur wasn't building just the marketplace. They were building a meta. They knew attention was currency, and instead of buying ads, they bought behavior through airdrops. The people at Blur, they understood the meta game being played. You don't make money in crypto by being the smartest, you make money by being the earliest in the room of a brain. And while 90% of NFT traders back then was stuck on OpenSea, I was setting up an entire Blur farming system. I was setting up bid bots and lending bots, I was joining private alpha groups, and I was setting up 24/7 automation frameworks on my computer. You might ask why. There was a lot of speculation coming, and if you knew anything about NFT marketplaces back then, you could speculate that there was going to be a huge airdrop coming. And so when season 1 of Blur airdrop came, I got airdropped $1.2 million of Blur tokens. And now when season 2 of the airdrop was announced, every single person and their mom wanted a piece of this pie. So what I did was I adapted the system, I updated my bots, I targeted low volatility collections, and I used gas-adjusted cost-benefit analysis. And I also integrated lending. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't getting burnt while Blur farming these tokens. So as I said, season 2 was already worse. More users caught on, bots exploded, and the pie was splitting. And this is what I call the diminishing meta window. You need a thing like this for every single new launch. Airdrops aren't bonuses, they are leverage without risk. If you want to make real wealth, you want to ask yourself these 3 questions. What behavior is the protocol rewarding? How can I farm that behavior at scale? And how long do I have until the window actually closes? Why this still matters is because you can take this mindset into the next cycle. You saw it with the Hyperliquid airdrop. You saw it with the Jupiter airdrop. Crypto rewards the attentive, not the hopeful. So moving on, I'll tell you guys about private and pre-TGE rounds. Let's be real, guys. You don't get rich by touching things that are overcrowded and something that every single other person knows about. You get rich by touching it before the masses even know it exists. So I'll give you guys a real example here. So Portal was a multi-chain gaming infrastructure product, and it was hyped as the Steam of Web3. Everyone wanted to buy on the TGE hoping for a pump, but the reality was the project was built by VCs and insiders to print on unlocks. And now Portal Coin launched with $34 million raised in seed and had massive names behind it. There were partnerships with Layer 0, Polygon, Avalanche, and others. As you can see, the angel investors were massively profiting on the unlocks, while the public was just getting dumped on. As you can see right now, the coin is sitting 99% below its starting price. And this is why I say building a network within the crypto ecosystem is so valuable, because I was actually invited into the private pre-TGE round. The advantage was I was getting deeply discounted valuation and I had the opportunity for massive allocation. The result was I was able to cash out over $2 million in pure profit upon every unlock. The result was I was able to cash out over $2 million in pure profit off of each stage of unlocks. So with these vesting schedules, when you're early enough and you get good enough entry, your unlocks don't really stress you out, because when you're 5% or 10% unlocks, they're already paying off your entire initial amount invested. The rest is just pure profit. So if you guys want the path to access, I get access to a lot of these coins as an angel investor pre-TGE. And this access isn't public, it's obviously reserved for private inner circle of operators. So guys, I'm not just teaching trading, I'm building a new class of investors who actually want to win in silence. And if you guys want to learn more about that, you can click the link in the description to apply for my inner circle.
Listen guys, if you're still here, if you're this far into the video, then you're not just some random viewer. You're here because something in you recognizes what I'm saying, and something in you knows that you're supposed to be doing this. And honestly, I know exactly how that feels, because when I started, I had no one around me to check my trades, no one around me to answer my questions, and no one who loved the game the way I did. And that is until I got invited to certain groups, but that was the biggest thing that frustrated me. No one around me cared about trading the way I did. And I was just a kid trying to make it work out for my family, and I wanted the money so bad, and I was always asking myself, why is no one else obsessed like me? Like growing up, I tell people in school I was trading crypto, and they would just laugh at me, they would look at me sideways, and they'd be like, bro, what are you talking about? And I had to just sit with that. I'd come home from school alone and grind, and every single day I would just grind the charts, look into crypto, and I almost had to become my own mentor because I had no mentor to look up to. Mentorship isn't just about getting information, it's about getting shaped into a new person. When a mentor looks at your trade and says like, oh yeah, you missed this entry, apply your rules, or you ignored your risk management, fix that, or don't do this again, and that's why, that is literally what shapes you as a trader. They're literally rewiring your brain, they're teaching you patience, discipline, and conviction. And when I started, I didn't have that. I literally get torn up by the market over again and again. I'd have to learn the basics all by myself because I didn't have a mentor. I had to build my own bridge across the river, stone by stone, and mistake by mistake. And honestly, that's why I built the Fortune Inner Circle. It's the mentorship I always wished for, and it's the bridge I had to carve out the hard way. It's a room full of killers, traders, mentors, a family who will literally not let you quit on yourself. We do daily calls, we do live trades, we hammer down on psychology, risk management, narrative flow, and on-chain systems. And when you make a mistake, we patch it in real time. Like for example, you take a trade of a system, you lose, you're confused, and you don't know what you did wrong. You're probably gonna be like, yeah, bad market day, and you'll keep making the mistake over and over again. Inside of Fortune, you could literally post your trade, and I'll literally be like, you marked your trade wrong, you ignored your risk profile, fix that, and just like that, you have shaved months off of your learning curve. And honestly, I've seen this transformation over and over again because Eli, he came to us with nothing. He was literally homeless, and now he's making $40,000 a month trading meme coins. But, you know, more than that, he's someone who truly believes himself now. And Justin, yeah, he bought a 100K BMW M4 off of our calls, but more than that, he stopped second guessing himself, and now he's actually following through with his high conviction calls, and he's hitting them properly. He learned how to actually trust his execution and move with actual certainty. And Jackson, he hit over 7 figures trading meme coins, but the real win was him literally telling me that he felt control over his life again. And Enabler, he made $30,000 off of a single trade, but what mattered to him was the community. He felt like he wasn't doing this alone anymore. And honestly, at some point, you probably won't even need me anymore. You'll probably just use me and the coaches and the cabal as your bridge. And one day you'll realize you crossed the river. You'll become profitable, you'll be confident, and you'll actually be free. So be real with me right now. Do you want to keep wasting your years on YouTube, drowning in the wrong information over and over again, making the same mistakes over and over again, or do you want to join the winning team? You'll literally speedrun your journey with mentors who know your name, know your journey, and will not let you fail. But if you're lazy and you just want a quick flip, get out of here. You're not getting in, and I'm not wasting a lot of time on you. But if I see the same obsession in you, the same hunger, the same obsession, and the same delusion that you will make this work, then I will give you everything that I have. I'll mentor you, I'll sculpt you, and I'll make sure you're the trader that you're meant to be. And our results prove it. Inside Fortune, we've had over an 80% win rate on all our calls over the past year. And an 89% win rate in July, and an 83% win rate in August. And that's not luck. That's mentorship, and that's what coaches and students work together for to build something real.
So here's what you can do. The application link is in the description, and if it's still there, don't take it for granted. That's your chance. That's me telling you that I still see the potential in you, and if it's not, if you made it this far, please consider subscribing. The bull market is the single biggest wealth transfer that you will live through. The question is, are you going to cross that bridge with us, or are you going to stay stuck on that shore watching everyone else do it? But again, welcome to Fortune. This is the digital rebirth. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys on the inside.